I'm Jahara. Welcome back, or welcome to my channel, Me, My Dog and Books. I am here to do the quarterly reading tag, which I've seen a couple of fellow booktubers do, so I've written down the questions and I'm just going to fire away. Oh, and see, for each of the questions, I'll put them down in the description, but please do answer any question in the tag. I'd love to hear your responses too. Oh, I'm going to have to refer to my trusty laptop for this, because like how many books and stuff. I say quarterly, so technically to the end of March, but like I'm not going to, I've read 3 books this month, so I'm just going to do it to about now, because it's easier for checking my Goodreads. First question is, how many books have you read so far this year? According to Goodreads, you can also find me on Goodreads, I'll leave it in my tag. I've read 42 books this year. Actually, that's probably about right, because I don't think I've put any of my April reads as completed and written my reviews for them yet. So 42, that's not too bad. I have previously given myself really steep reading goals on Goodreads, and this year I just like pretty much halved it. So a very loose aim is 100 books. If I read 100 books, great. If I don't, it's no biggie. And I was just trying to take the pressure off myself from having to always be like not behind schedule on reading books, and like giving myself a stress that I didn't really need to have. So I was kind of inspired by a few friends who are like, oh, I don't do reading goals anymore. So 100's still quite a lot. Not many, you know, for many people. So if I achieve that, great. Up at 42. Question number 2 is, have you got a book so far that could be a favourite or at least a 5-star? So let me check. I would say so far it was probably one that I read in January. Let me check my challenge. I think I might only, like, I've got a couple of middle grades that I had as 5 stars. But it has to be Duck Feet by Eli Percy. I read this one in January actually, so I'm struggling. I mean, I've had some really good reads, some really, you know, good strong 4, 4.5, and you know, a couple of 5-star middle grades as well. But this is one that's maybe the standout for me so far. It is a kind of coming of age story set in the west coast of Scotland. So it's got written in very colloquial west coast accent, so it takes a little while, especially if you're not used to that, to get your head around it. It made me laugh out loud. It was so heartfelt. It follows the main character as she's grown up through high school, and all the awkward and like emotional moments that she goes through. It just was wonderfully nostalgic for me, because I could absolutely relate to a lot of the story, and I don't actually think you need to be Scottish in any way, because I think you just relate to the awkwardness and the emotion of growing up from a 12-year-old till the end of like high school. And they had fabulous characters. The author just wrote amazing characters that I just utterly adored spending time with. So that's maybe my standout at the moment. So hoping the next quarter brings some other favourite reads. Question 3 is, are any 1-star or least favourite books of the year? Let me check. Well, I've had a couple of DNFs. A DNF Chain Gang All-Star. Really loved the premise, really struggled with the execution. I think I was trying to do too much. I think the way it was told, it was really confusing, and I really struggled to stay engaged. And actually I was reading it for a book club, and there was at least a good chunk of us that DNF'd it or read it to the end and were like, I wish I hadn't. Which is a shame, because I really wanted to enjoy it. The Future by Naomi Alderman, really struggled with. I loved The Power that she wrote previously and the TV adaptation, but this, I just really struggled with the execution. I was confused the whole way of really what was happening. Can I tell you what it's about? Well, it's like dystopian speculative future stuff of, you know, big tech running the world, and that's honestly, I'm like, I was so disappointed because I was so excited for it. Yeah, another DNF was Dead Zone by Stephen King. I'm a big Stephen King fan. I try and read one Stephen King book a month, and that was my March book. And yeah, I felt it was too long and I struggled to get into it. A few people really loved it, so don't take my opinion as verbatim at all. Question number 4 is, what are my most read genres? I'm going to have a quick scan of Goodreads. Very eclectic readers, you know. So on a quick scan, I would say literary and mystery thriller seem to be a standout, as well as non-fiction. The main ones so far this year. Question number 5 is a book that surprised me. I'm going to say Duck Feet this time because I did not expect to enjoy it so much. I'm actually the kind of person that doesn't gravitate naturally to books set in Scotland. I like to read much further afield about other cultures, and so I tend not to, doesn't mean I don't read them, I just tend not to gravitate towards them unless I've heard like good things about it. So that maybe took me by a surprise. And the other I would say was The Damages by Genevieve Scott, who I think I reviewed it, so here in, yes, I reviewed it in my March wrap up. An amazing literary thriller set in 2 timelines about the consequences and of the consequences of assault and the perceptions of consent between the late 90s and in the current day during the Me Too movement. It was really, really well done. I went in not really knowing what to expect because I'd got it as an arc. Question number 6 is, name a book that's come out in 2023 that I want to read but still haven't read yet. That's easy. Give me 2 seconds. Right, in my weekend reading vlog that's coming after this video, I talk about the fact that I've got an early e-arc for Riley Sager's new book that's out this year, which I'm super excited about, so you hear about that at the weekend. But of course, have I read last year's the only one left? No, I haven't, and I'm desperate to read it. That's why it's one of my 24 in 2024. But yes, I've got a reputation. I ordered that. I pre-ordered it. It came and I was like, oh my god, I'm going to read this immediately. Have I? No. Question number 7 is a goal or goals you've made that you're currently succeeding at. My wanting to read 100 books in 2024. I'm so far on track for that, or ahead of, which is good, although I'm taking the pressure off. I undertook a book buying ban between January and the end of March, which I was mostly successful at. I only failed in the last week of March, which I think is not too bad. So I'm hoping that retains a level of sustainable book buying and I just don't splurge like I used to. And committing, well, it's Bookish, but committing to trying to do 2 videos a week for my BookTube channel. Yay me so far! The last question is question number 8, which is reading goals that you've made that you're not being successful at. Well, that would be my 24 books in 2024. Technically I should have read, if I'm doing it, you know, averaging 2 a month, so I should have read 6 of them so far. Let me count how many I have. I think I've only read 1, which was The Drift by CJ Tudor. So I need to get my finger out. I've got them all set up in my trolley over here. Maybe get the OH to pick 2 that I should read this month. That's a good idea. Oh, I'm glad I've had a bit of a sense check of that. To be fair, yeah, I failed at the 12 books to read in 2023. So why I thought I was going to be successful in 24 books in 2024, I don't know. But it is only the beginning of April-ish. There's still plenty of time. And actually, this one will count. And so I should maybe read that before I read the new one. But clearly there is no logic to my reading at all. Anyway, that was quite a fun one. I hope you enjoyed watching my quarterly book reading tag or book tag. Fellow booktubers, please join in if you haven't already. I'll tag some of you to give it a go. And I've put the questions down below, so I'd love to hear the answers to any of the questions that you have. How many books you've read, any favourites so far, any goals that you've set, any books that you didn't like so much. Let me know in the comments and we'll have a good chat. Anyway, thanks again for watching, for liking, subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's an absolute joy to keep making bookish videos to talk to you all. So I'll catch you next time in my regular weekend reading vlog. And please, for always and forever, give me any comments on any kind of bookish videos you would like to see. Always open to your ideas. Anyway, until next time, see you again soon. Bye!